Chapter 13 An Encounter with the Aliens. Before we read, do aliens really exist? If yes, how do they look and where do they live? Are they more intelligent than human beings? These are some of the questions yet to be answered. However, many people believe their existence, and some of them even confirm that they have spotted such creatures. It was the month of December. The weather was fine, but it was extremely cold. The chilly wind was piercing the bones. John and his wife Lisa were returning from Harold Hill, a small town in the outskirts of Essex, after visiting one of their friends. John was a young scientist working on extraterrestrial bodies. His wife Lisa had no faith in the existence of any such creatures, and she often made fun of him. But John had a firm belief that someday he would surely get some proof to establish that the aliens do not only exist, but they often visit our planet, trying to establish contacts with us. He also believed that someday he would surely meet someone who could provide him information about them. They had hardly crossed halfway when suddenly a bright green light drew their attention. They looked up, trying to locate the source of the light. After a few seconds, they saw a round object emitting green light. It was hovering just above their car. They were astonished. What could it be? Is it an aeroplane or a UFO? Soon, they felt a strong pull, as if their car was being pulled up by some strong force. John accelerated the speed, but the object was still flying above the car, hovering with a low, shrill sound. By now, they had almost reached their house, and as John sped in, the round object vanished. The next morning, John and Lisa were sitting in the drawing room, sipping warm coffee. John was casting a casual glance on the headlines of the morning newspaper. Suddenly, his eyes fell on the news describing the experience of a man who had also passed through the same trauma as they had faced the previous night. John decided to contact the man to know in detail of his experience. Lisa also appreciated the idea, and so John called him up, seeking a personal meeting. The meeting was arranged in the evening, and John invited some scientists of the UFO group as well to be present during the meeting and give their opinion in the matter. So in the evening, all the people assembled in John's drawing room. While narrating his experience, the other man, Willie, said that one afternoon he was sitting alone in a park. Suddenly, he spotted some bright object hovering over his head. He was sure that it was nothing but a UFO. Slowly, the object came down and touched the ground. Then a portion of it opened up, and from there came out two strange-looking tiny creatures. Their whole body was covered with green space suit. There was a little computer-like machine fixed in the chest, and two antennas were projecting out from their head. Willie was scared. He looked around for help, but there was nobody around. The creatures moved, rather hopped towards him. Willie was panicked. He tried to run away, but just then, one of the creatures extended its antenna and turned it towards him. As soon as the antenna touched his body, he felt a sharp pain and became unconscious. He didn't know for how long he remained senseless, but when finally he opened his eyes, he found himself lying in the same place, though it was morning and the sun was peeping out from behind the tall trees. There were many people in the park. Some were walking while some others were doing exercise. He looked around and tried to find the UFO, but neither the UFO nor the strange tiny creatures were there. He tried to be up on his feet, and with a little effort he could stand up. He moved towards the place where the UFO had landed. The grass in that area had withered. Suddenly he came across Mr. Robert, his neighbor, who had come to the park for a morning stroll. Willie wished him, but Mr. Robert looked at him in a strange way. When Willie moved towards him, Robert walked away briskly. Disappointed as he was, Willie moved towards home. Somehow he reached home and pushed the switch of the doorbell. He was feeling very weak, but surprisingly, he was neither hungry nor thirsty. Soon the door opened and his little daughter came out. But as soon as she saw him, she tried to run in. Willie couldn't understand why everybody was trying to avoid him. Meanwhile, his wife also came out. She was looking at him in such a strange way, as if he were from some other planet. But now, Willie was at the end of his patience.
"What's the matter? Why are you looking in such a way?"
he asked. When his wife heard him talking, her behavior changed completely. Coming forward, she helped him come in and sit on a sofa in the drawing room. His little daughter also came near and hugged him. His wife told him that he came home much late the previous night. Two strange tiny creatures clad in green spacesuit-like dress were also with him. He went straight into the bedroom while the little creatures roamed about in the room. When she came to ask for coffee, he said nothing. She was shocked to see that his color had turned green, and two antennas like tentacles, like the tiny creatures, had also come out on his head. She turned out in fear, and the door behind her was shut with a loud bang. When after some time she somehow managed her fear and tried to look into his room, she was surprised to find nobody inside. She pushed the door and entered his room. The room was empty, but a green, bright metal piece in which something was inscribed in an unknown language was lying on the bed. One of the scientists interrupted Willie and asked if he had the metal piece with him. Without a word, Willie put his hand in the pocket and took out a bright, shining metal piece. The scientist almost grabbed it from Willie's hand and tried to read the writing, but in vain. He kept it with him and said that he would try to decode the message. Willie ended his story. Later, the scientists examined the metallic piece in the laboratory and informed John and Willie that this type of metal is not found in our solar system. They would try to trace out its origin in some other stars, maybe millions of light years away. They couldn't read out the message either and are still waiting for someone who can help them in the matter. The mystery of the UFO is still unsolved. When you will grow up, some of you might become scientists and find it out. Let's wait till then. Glossary: extremely, exceedingly, too much, piercing, penetrating, extraterrestrial bodies, creatures from outer space, locate, find out, hovering, moving, emitting, giving out, astonished, surprised, vanished, disappeared, aliens, creatures from outside the earth, UFO, unidentified flying objects, flying saucer, trauma, shock, appreciated, admired, assembled, gathered, creatures, living beings, antennas, feelers, projecting out, coming out, panicked, worried, senseless, unconscious, peeping, quining out, withered, shrunken, briskly, quickly, avoid, stay away from, hugged, embraced, inscribed, emblazoned, interrupted, spoke in between, mystery, secret,